Alright, so we just went to we're in the Tower of London, and they went off, the family went off on some guided tour with some person that works there. I decided to go off on my own little adventure, and so I just went up 2 different towers. I saw the King's Chamber, which I'll have a few photos prior to this video, as well as a few other towers and some stained glass windows that look pretty good. So I'm just walking around across one of the walls on the south side. The Lost Palace. Which is here. I'll have photos up as well, as always. It's a little bit far down. Lanthorn Tower. Demolished and rebuilt. So, technically, this isn't actually the real tower. It's just a remake of the original tower. I guess since it's such a big tourist attraction, they even bring, I don't know, maybe it's a kindergarten school or something from, I'm not sure, perhaps French? Sounds like French. Look like senior kindergartners, look at that. Youngins. Alright, so I just exited the medieval palace and come out on, I believe, the northeastern side now. So it basically went around in a U shape around the bottom. And then now coming up is the Salt Tower, but I don't know if I'm going to do that just yet. I think I'm going to go down into the courtyard. Yeah. So, steps are ridiculous. So, that girl gave me a funny look. So now I'm in one of the courtyards down at the bottom, and it's huge. Look at this. That's just the tower that I came from. Then along here is the courtyard. Turkish bronze cannon, that's what this is. Or was. This place is really big. I mean, it's back in, 18th century, I think the guy said on the tour. Or prior, like around the time. And I think what he said this was, in the center, was the chapel, or like the monastery kind of thing. So, I don't know if you've noticed that I'm like kind of half tripping, but like, that's what you gotta walk on around here. Some of these have been repaved over, obviously, but okay, so I'm standing outside of the Jewel House apparently, and it's massive. Now, I don't know about you, but I've already seen the world's largest diamond, and it's in the ROM, so what the hell could they possibly be holding in here is beyond me. Alright, so I'm gonna go into the Jewel House, but apparently there's no photography allowed, so I'll tell you how it is after. Okay, so the Jewel House was actually every single type of crown jewel in British ancient history and all that. It had everything from the coronation crowns to the robes to the coronation spoon, everything like that. It also had the crown of India. It had a bunch of like jewels, and then the the royal plates, dining, everything like that. It's ridiculous, the amount of gold in there, but I guess if you're born into royalty and everything, you're kind of used to that. Alright, into the Bloody Tower I go. Now, apparently, this wasn't actually designed as a prison, it was actually just designed as a castle. But since it established a lot of state authority, they turned it into a prison. And they turned it into a place where they would bring people who stole, murderers, etc. And they would use a lot of different types of tools to discipline them, quote unquote. And now I'm gonna go up this really thin tower. Jeez.
This is a spiral staircase.
Phil DeFranco, have you ever seen this?
Right, check out and
If you thought the tower that you went up was tiny, this thing is puny. Look at this.
is everyone okay? No one's scared?
The stairs.
Just remember,
It's puny. This is not gonna work.
you won't go careful, Louina.
I'm scared.
I want Louina to go
There's someone
sleep.
coming down.
Right, back down. Hold on, there's someone coming down the stairs.
This was not designed for more than one person to go up and down at the same time. Oh, got this. Okay. Made it through that. Okay, so after going through that, it brought me to a room basically where you find out three things about King Henry VII, and then oh crap, I can't remember the other one now. But there's a bunch of different quotes and stories behind both of them, and then at the end of it there's a little voting panel, and you vote which king would have made the most orders to murder different people that came through the tower. And it seems that King Henry VII is winning by 7,000 votes. But then next to it, which made a bit more sense to me, is that they weren't murdered, but they disappeared within the walls, or they died mysteriously. And that one made more sense to me, because after reading through a lot of it, it was more of that they gave more orders in the fields, and they gave more orders to their soldiers, rather than executing prisoners and all of that. So I voted for not murdered but disappeared, because it made a bit more sense to me.